ageism is alive and well in the workplace. It is against the law, but it doesn't seem to matter. So the things that, I have this thing that I call my, and I'll tell you after the talks I'll have so many, we were talking about this around the room, these women particularly will come up and say, should I dye my hair, should I get Botox, you know, what should I do? And I'm always like, you know, yeah, if that's going to make you feel better about yourself, but don't do it the week before the interview. But whatever you do, you know, but it's really key, you know, to me, the core thing, the core advice I give people is to get a fitness program. And I have, like, I call it Kerry's Fitness Program, and number one is you absolutely have to get physically fit. And I don't mean someone has to run a super fast mile or bench press or do any of that, but they have to have some sort of, maybe you walk a couple times a week, you swim, you eat healthy, and this doesn't happen overnight, but you need to integrate that into your lifestyle if you're going to, when you go to an employer for an interview and you're physically fit, you exude this positivity, this vibrancy, this I want what she has. You know, it's subtle. They might not even know what they're looking at, but they feel it. And I know for a fact that this works. And so I just tell people, whatever it is you can do, work on getting physically fit. It's the biggest thing you can do to fight ageism in that regard. And so you have that as part of it. I say people, the second part of my fitness program is to get spiritually fit. And that sounds kind of woo-woo, and you know, I'm not talking about big religion here, but what I mean is you need to have some sort of meditation program, or some Tai Chi, or some sort of place that you can go to sort of center yourself. Because job searching is so incredibly stressful, and as we've all talked about, it takes a hit to our ego. You know, rejection is awful, and you just feel terrible. But if you can have a place where you can get away from that stress, from that tension, and for me, it's walking my dog. You know, I walk my dog a couple of times a week for 4 or 5 miles each time. It keeps me fit. I love it. So maybe it's as simple as getting the dog and going for a walk. But I think you need that, and to have that spiritual fitness, you know, combines with the physical, but if you can have that sort of safe spot to go to. The third piece, and this is really hard for your clients, but if you have the time to work with them and talk a little bit about it, is if you can be financially fit. And financially, money is the biggest stumbling block for anyone in this age group trying to make a transition. Because, as we talked about a few minutes ago, it's that they want this certain salary, they think they need to replicate it. When you're financially fit, you're nimble. You know, debt is an incredible dream killer. And so if you can somehow, and especially at this age cohort, the kids are grown potentially, you're done with the big tuition bills. This is the time when you can downsize your house if possible. You can refinance perhaps, pay down the credit card debt. So if you can encourage your clients to really take a look at their whole picture, it's not just the job search, it's what they can do internally with their life to make the job search a more doable action for them.